Alright, we got ourselves a TVP on Cloud Kingdom. Up in the top left corner we got bstPope as the blue Terran. And in the bottom right, we got bstSanctuary as the red Protoss.
Now on Earth we call that the bottom left, but
I don't know about that being the bottom left, man. I guess it should probably be the bottom middle now that I think about it.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Alright, so what are the standard openings for this matchup, guys?
Usually you see a gateway expand from Protoss, just with one gas, and then Terran goes for a gasless 1 Rax FE. And then transitions into either 3 or 4 racks and goes straight for Medivacs.
Okay, is this scout timing from the Protoss player normal?
No, it is not. This is extremely paranoid.
Yeah, anytime scouting on like right after your 9 pylon is very not a good idea.
It's either paranoid or bad, one or the other.
Or cheeky?
And it's kind of the same with Terran.
Planned?
No, it's kind of the same with Terran. Like, he's scouting way too early.
I guess it could be to harass the barracks builder. Yep, right there. But
okay.
If you have the APM for it, you can be a little bit of a bitch with your probe, but...
But my guess is Sanctuary does not have the APM for it.
No.
And why is that? What league are these guys?
Well,
Gold.
he does have 230 APM right now, if anybody opens up that APM tab.
That's good. It's pretty good.
It's pretty spammy for sure.
Alright, that SCV is dead, and so is the probe.
And
so even exchanges so far.
Sounds fair.
Alright.
If you go to units lost, you see 1-1, 50-50.
That right there would be an even units lost tab for sure.
Yep. And it looks like, as I suspected, 1 gas, 1 gate, expand for Sanctuary. Unless he decides to be weird and go for a 1-base build, I don't know.
And the gas is just for Warp Gate, right?
The gas is for Warp Gate and the Stalker.
Okay.
And then eventually a Sentry.
And then bstPope is doing exactly what anybody would ever expect and doing 1 Rax FE. Except he's forgetting to build his orbital command.
Okay, so you build 2 depots and then you build a command center.
You can do 1 or 2. It depends. 2 is safer, but it's really unnecessarily safe.
Yeah.
And low ground versus high ground. Pros and cons.
Low ground, for
I
sure.
think those are quite obvious pros and cons, but generally the low ground is safe, especially if you scout as early as Pope did.
Okay, are you calling me an idiot?
No, I don't think so.
Because you said it was pretty obvious.
Okay,
Sorry.
so DJ Weed is now an idiot.
Alright.
Yeah, man, you heard me. I'm just trying to keep everything flowing. You're just like, hey, idiot.
Alright, now, generally you want to take the Nexus before the 3rd pylon, but he's going to be a bit of a rebel here. And get his pylon first.
Is that a good place for the 3rd pylon?
It's fine. It lets you warp in Zealots if he pushes.
Okay.
But to be honest, like, the 3rd pylon isn't super important. Although one thing I don't like about what Sanctuary is doing is he's not sending a probe around the map to, put down pylons all over the place.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of the times I see the pylon down on the low ground. Now, is that just because I play Zerg?
Yeah.
And it's a whole
Because
different...
the standard build for PvZ is the Forge Fast expand, where you kind of make a wall next to your natural, so you need the low ground pylon.
Right. Well, then he did just drop a pylon in front of it.
Now, this bunker is actually extremely late. If Sanctuary was doing his build optimally, you'd have a Stalker and a Zealot, like, wreaking havoc all over this natural.
Honestly, he probably would have won if he would have just A-moved a Stalker and a Zealot.
Yeah. Alright, well, we've got 2 Stalkers moving across the map. Chances of them accomplishing anything
aren't going to be there before the bunker's done, so I think he'll be alright.
Yeah, but if you were up against a Masters player, this would not end well. Also, he's not building an orbital command at his natural, which is very bad. But otherwise, this game is proceeding almost exactly as I said. 3 racks, 3 gate.
Yep, and then he's going to go to Medivacs, tech up, and try to hit a 10-minute Stim Combat Shield +1 push, but for my guess, it's not going to hit at 10 minutes.
And the Protoss really needs to get his Robo out ASAP.
Is there any... You guys, can you shed any light on what Protoss is doing right now?
He's going for the super safe standard build, which is get 3 gates immediately after the natural goes up. However, his Robo is not going down for whatever reason, although it needs to go down as soon as possible.
Yeah, don't most Protoss players build their Robo closer to 6 so they can get that Observer and all that information and stuff is...
An observer should come, like, there it is, but it should be right when you have enough money, like right after the gates. Some people even go for a robo before the gates if they're feeling safe.
What about the robo placement?
It's not ideal,
I don't like it, yeah.
but at
You
least...
get sniped there, right?
Yeah, I could, but at least the Colossus or the Immortal or what have you will appear in the battle. I guess that could be a good thing.
Yeah, it'll pop out quick, but... Especially a Colossus, building it up by the gates, I feel like it just walking down the cliff wouldn't be too much of a difference.
So where should I build my robo?
In
the
main.
middle of your base.
Yeah.
Like back by there where these gateways are?
Yeah, or next to the Cyber Core, something like that.
Yeah, because you never want to build stuff... You definitely never want to build stuff on the side of your base against Terran. Because it'll just drop and kill it.
Yeah, definitely.
And the Natural's not very good either.
Especially your Forges. I can't tell you how many times the Terrans has sniped my, like, 1-1 or something.
Oh my god, I feel so happy when I do that.
Yeah.
So do you think that Sanctuary is going for a third, or do you think he's going for attack and then expand?
To be honest, because he hasn't thrown down more gates yet, I assume he's going to tech straight to Colossus and take a third.
Mm-hmm.
But he's floating a lot of money at the moment.
Yeah.
So at least
And
he's
he's
getting
warping in...
he's getting his 6 centuries. 6 centuries is the money number.
Alright.
Okay.
So far that's good, but he really needs to be teching the Colossus ASAP. Otherwise, it doesn't matter how many force fields you have, a bio army is going to crush through you.
Yeah, there's his robo, but there's... Pretty much if Pope had played normally, this robo bay would be way late and Sanctuary would die to the normal 10-minute timing push.
So yeah, it's 9:30.
Now this is a very early Twilight Council.
So I only see one
Yes.
engineering bay. You were talking about a 1-1 timing.
No, just plus one attack.
weapons,
He'll have... You're supposed to have plus 1 attack, stim, and combat shield. If you get 1-1 by this point, you don't have enough money to build an army big enough to actually help it.
Yeah. Now, this is an extremely early Twilight Council. I prefer to build it when your 1-1 is about halfway done, and after your third is started, because charge just isn't that useful until you have 3 bases. Because when you're teching a Colossus, you don't have enough minerals to support a lot of Zealots.
Yeah. Also, this Twilight Council is not doing anything.
Yeah, it's just kind of there. So, unless he was going for some kind of weird blink timing,
Yeah.
it's not a good time.
Yeah, it's definitely suboptimal. Also, I don't like the position of it, but...
And he's not building Colossi, I think, because he's supply blocked.
Let me ask you guys about this number of barracks. We've got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 barracks.
If he was going for a macro game, he would have built his command center first.
Mm-hmm.
But he could be going for some kind of 2-base all-in. I guess it'd depend on whether or not he puts add-ons on right away.
Or if it was 5 barracks, there's actually a very common style popularized by Startail Bomber that's gives you like a lot of powering off 2 base. It's really aggressive, all that kind of stuff. But 6 I've never heard of.
So Sanctuary sees this. What should he do if he sees this?
You should
He
play
sees
more
it.
defensively.
He should play more defensively, get Chrono Boost the hell out of some Colossi.
Okay.
But I'd say you're still, if you have 2 or 3 Colossi, you're still safe to take a third, because on 2 base, Terran usually won't go above 1 starport, and if he's on 1 starport, the chances of him having enough Vikings to deal with your Colossi are very slim.
Exactly.
So, although to be honest, if he'd built the reactors on all 3 of those barracks, he would have had enough time to put up his command center before producing out of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, Sanctuary went and got pylons all over the map now. Do you feel better about this now for Sanctuary? Like, who's
Definitely.
going to win?
Well, it
You
depends.
call it now.
The pylons are only useful if he makes use of them, right? If he's too
Yeah.
caught up in the battle to warp in zealots behind his, behind enemy lines, then they're kind of useless. But they're nice to have anyway. Although I must
So-
admit, he's kind of made too many pylons based on his supply right now.
Well, this one here by the, I don't know, what is it, the 5th? Do you see what I'm talking about? That's good for spotting drops, too, right?
That
Yeah,
is
it
very
is.
good for spotting drops.
These pylons are in pretty good spaces for spotting drops as well, right?
Along
And
with
they
the
can-
watchtower, I don't think any drops can slip by that.
I think maybe if he snuck one in, like going straight down from his natural, he might be able to get it in. But
Yeah, maybe. But
it'd be
anyway,
tough.
even if he has the vision, it doesn't mean he's actually going to see it, because
Yeah.
even in
Well,
Masters, I miss drops even when I have vision. So
Oh,
but this is good pylon placement to shoot for, though, right?
Yeah.
it's pretty good for. I mean, for being a gold player, this is pretty good pylon placement.
Well, where else?
I'm just gonna take credit and say I taught him that.
All right. Well, where else would
Nice,
you put these
nice.
pylons?
I like some on the low grounds at the top left and the bottom right,
Okay.
but other than that, they're pretty darn perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Although a lot of the time I make one at the third just so that I know when there's a third going down. I know it's gonna die, but it's either that or making another observer, and this early in the game you can't afford the robo build time to make an observer.
Yeah.
Because you need to be building Colossus all the time.
Yeah, basically. You need like 3 to 4 to hold it off. And now that his third base is up, he should be throwing down like a lot more gateways. He's teching his Storm and getting 2-2 as he should, and charge, which is good. I'm taught him that too, just saying.
Yeah.
But he should be putting down up to 12 to 14 gateways, which
For
sounds
sure.
extreme, but on 3 bases you can easily support 12.
These gateway units really aren't that expensive.
Especially High Templar Zealot, the combination of high gas and high minerals together actually mean you can make just an absurd amount of gateways.
So Storm is about to finish, and Pope hasn't pushed out against the map across the map yet. He has like a huge supply lead. Did he like miss a window here for him to attack?
He
Yeah,
should have
for
pushed
sure.
when there is one Colossus, maybe 2. But again, this is gold, so they play much more cautiously.
Hey, I know. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, because Terran against Protoss, you really do have to do damage in the mid game, or else you're going to be at quite the deficit.
Indeed.
Protoss has 2-2 and Terran only has 1-1. Is that normal for the Protoss to be ahead in upgrades at this point in the game?
If
It's-
he's spending all his Chrono Boost on his upgrades, then it is normal. But a lot of the time, the Terran can get his engineering bays up earlier, so he can stay very close.
Mhm.
His 2-2 is very late, though, from the Terran.
Yeah, you should really be starting your 2-2 closer to like 14 at the latest.
Indeed.
Because you want to hit the magic 19-minute 3-3 for sure.
Yeah. And his
All right, so
2-2
I'm seeing 8 Vikings here. Is that enough Vikings for this army? Because
it should be, because 8 Vikings can dispatch 3 Colossi pretty quick. But
Well, he's got 4, so...
yeah, like I said, it can dispatch 3 pretty quick, but 4 can make it tough, especially with storms out here. Unless he gets Ghost pretty soon. Although I'd like you guys to check out the Units Lost tab.
Nice.
yeah, man. I mean, we've had like a
Super
20-minute no
passive.
rush scenario.
So
Yeah.
right?
obviously Pope is ahead because he's ahead in the units lost tab.
Definitely. But
So is this enough gateways for you guys, or he needs to drop more gateways?
since he's putting down his 4th, I would say more, although he's not maxed yet. Usually it's after you get maxed that you throw down like 25 to 30 gateways.
Mm-hmm.
This attack, good idea or bad idea?
It's a good idea. This is a great choke, right? He can force field off both locations. Snipe
Yep.
the 3rd, force field off, and retreat, right?
I like that, right? This is perfect, right? Just attack and fall back,
Yep.
and then
Fighting as
third.
on this map, fighting as Protoss anywhere besides down in the middle is always a good idea, just because everything's so choky.
Yeah. Although these ghosts are out, but I do like that Lost as an observer in his army, although I would like if he does what he's doing now, which is put it a little ahead so he can actually
should have
see the
sniped.
ghost.
Why? Why
Now-
did he suicide all those ghosts, right? That
He
was
got
terrible.
4 sentries and a High Templar, but it's not going to be enough. These storms
He
and
got
these Colossi.
he got more High Templars at the back too. Only one High Templar had one storm,
Ooh,
Yeah.
or I guess they had 2 storms. But
So he's going to melt this army, although he really should Guardian Shield, because Guardian Shield is really not given enough credit. If you do the math, Guardian Shield reduces the Marines' damage by 40%.
yeah, it's Guardian Shield's excellently good
It's
for sure.
it's pretty key, actually, in these engagements.
is there anything Pope could have done?
Yeah, he
That
should have attacked with the
engagement
strategy he did taking such a late third base. He really should have attacked. I mean, if you're sitting around with a big army lead, might as well use it, especially in Terran versus Protoss.
Alright, thanks for tuning in. This is a cast from Bastion Gaming, first crude attempt. Thank you very much.